Welcome to another episode of RH Constructions, The Walkthrough. Today we're going to do a walkthrough inspection of a roofing system. Let's get going. Alright, before I get too close to our deficiency, my question to you is, do you notice our first issue with our roofing system? And this brings us to our first deficiency, which would be our ceiling joist to ceiling joist connection point, aka our lap. Now, when ceiling joists, they lap each other and they meet over a load-bearing partition wall or a girder, they should lap each other a minimum of 3 inches by code. In addition, they should be secured with 3 10D, aka 10 penny nails, face nailed into the lap. In addition, the joist must be toe nailed with a minimum of 3 8D or 8 penny nails into the girder or the bearing partition wall. As you can see based on the video here, I'll go ahead and pause in a couple different points. You will notice that our lap point on our ceiling joists where they lap each other are not secured. Although they are longer than 3 inches on the lap, they are not secured by any means face nail or toenail into our partition wall. Now, when this house was originally constructed in the early 1900s, they utilized balloon framing. Balloon framing means that they use extremely long studs that stretch from the sill plate of the foundation to the top plate on the second floor of this particular home. And as you look at the bearing partition wall here, you will see that the wood that was original to the house is charred. Yes, they saved this house from a catastrophic fire, but a lot of the structure on the house has already been compromised, as well as bringing in a contractor before I came in to do the inspection that, for the best way I can put it, did not really understand framing by code. This brings us to our second major deficiency, and this is our common rafter to ceiling joist connection point. Again, this connection point is typically supported by girders or bearing walls, and this connection is important because it prevents the walls from bowing outwards, and it ties the lower ends of the rafters together. At the same time, it ties the walls together and forms the floor of the attic. All right. Also, just a little caveat. The ceiling joist connection and rafter point, the ceiling joist on the edge of the house where the rafters meet together, they are typically cut down, aka trimmed down, at least 1/8 of an inch below the top of the coinciding rafter connection, so the roofing sheeting can be easily attached. Like I previously mentioned, this house was built utilizing balloon framing, which basically is different than platform framing where each floor is built independently. From the first floor, we have our bottom plate or sill plate because it's at the foundation. The studs reach up to the top plate. A flooring system was put on there. Then again, we have another bottom plate, studs, and a double top plate for the wall. Again, this house was built with balloon framing, which means that the studs extend from the sill plate up to the double top plate on the second floor. So tying the walls together is essential, especially on the roofing system with our ceiling joists, our lap connection points, and where they meet at our common rafter connection points. It's way more critical in this style of building homes that these processes are done correctly. I can't say for certain why the contractor hired to do these repairs completed them in the manner that they did. I would have to assume that either they were inexperienced, they did not care, or that they were probably unlicensed. Regardless of the fact, the method in which that these repairs were done don't follow code at all. And as a homeowner or a property owner, if you own a house that's being repaired, you should definitely take your time to walk through the property in between each of the stages and make sure permits are being pulled. So a city inspector or somebody that understands what they're looking at, that is licensed, that will give you an honest opinion of what's going on with your flooring system, your roofing systems, or giving you an honest critique of what's happening there. Because at the end of the day, somebody's family is going to live here and this house will be sold to someone else. And we don't want catastrophic issues that could possibly kill or hurt someone. That's just not what we're into. We're into building better homes. That's what I would think as a framer. That's what we should be doing.